So, you've decided to accept the quest to make your own game. And you most likely already aimed much higher. It's not just supposed to be any game, but your dream game. And why not? After all, a few of the greatest games of the last few years were made by only one person, or by a very small team. So let's go. Let's start your journey to become a game designer. But wait, what is a game designer exactly? Well, a game designer is a person who designs the rules, the art, the experiences, the world, the mechanics, and basically every other aspect of a game. Or in other words, game designers are artists, storytellers, architects, managers, psychologists, animators, historians, mathematicians, sound designers, economists, presenters, musicians, graphic designers, and so much more. They are everything needed to create a specific vision of a game. But do you really need all of these skills to make a game? Well, the simple answer is no. What you need to be and what skills you need to have always depends on how big your team is and what kind of game you're trying to make. If you're trying to create a new Pong or Breakout, you probably don't need to know a lot about architecture. And if you have a few capable people teaming up with you, you probably don't need to be a graphic designer and programmer at once. If you ever want to be a solo developer, and your goal is to create the next Palworld or Elden Ring, you would probably need some game development skills. Meaning the skills needed to bring your vision to life. Like, for example, programming skills. But how do you get started now? How do you become a game designer? Well, first of all, you need to know what you bring to the game. Literally. And start to build around your abilities. Once you're clear about what you already can do, you can start to plan your journey. You probably already have a vague idea of your dream game in mind right now, and are searching for the quickest way to make this dream a reality, right? Well, in that case, I have to stop you right here. It's just not going to be that easy. Game development is a marathon, not a sprint. Especially if you're just starting out. After all, you don't begin a new game with a boss fight, but with a tutorial, followed by smaller quests and side quests, strengthening your skills and leading up to and empowering you to face the boss and win. And the same goes for your game development journey. Start with a tutorial. Literally, start learning your craft. And then, tackle smaller quests, like smaller game projects. Start with something simple, like a Pong clone or an Asteroids clone. Nothing will be more devastating and more fatal for your game design journey than setting your goals too high too soon. Starting with smaller projects you can finish within a month or a week will help you learn the skills you need, show you what you can achieve, and prove to yourself that you are indeed able to finish making a game. So start out simple. And then start with another, slightly more difficult, but still simple project. And increase the difficulty slightly from project to project. You will see how your projects become better and more complex, how you get things done faster, and how your skills grow. And, spoiler alert, you will fail along the way. It's nearly inevitable. But that is good. You will fail, and you will learn from your failures. You will start over and succeed. And at that point, you will already have accomplished more than 90% of people ever starting to make a game. For you, will have actually started. You will have finished smaller game projects, and you will have come closer to beginning your dream game project than they ever have. So again, make your first projects as simple and basic as possible. Start with one game mechanic, with basic placeholder shapes, and set yourself a time limit of a week or a month at most, to get the first game done. And don't try to be perfect. The main goal is to have a prototype of a game. to have something ready to show, to have learned how to get to this point, and to be proud of this accomplishment, however little it may seem to you. And once you made a few simple games, start planning the next projects around the skills you already have. Are you an artist? Try to make a small game in which your art is the main focus. Are you a storyteller? How about making a choose-your-own-adventure type of game? Or are you focused on programming? In that case, how about a visually very basic game that in turn challenges your programming skills a little bit? Design around your skills. And while you're out there completing the smaller quests, don't forget to level up whenever you can. It's inevitable anyway. You will need to learn at least the most basic fundamentals of graphic design, animation, programming, and user interface design, amongst other things. But don't be intimidated. Your main focus should be to get a basic understanding of everything. And don't forget, you're not alone. There are tons of free assets and tutorials out there, giving and teaching you all that you need to know. To start out, you can get art, music, and even code bits from other people to play around with and learn from. But please note that you're supposed to use these to train your skills, not to steal and market them as your own. If you ever publish one of your game projects, make sure you've credited and paid all the artists contributing to your game accordingly. Another way to level up is to play. Yeah, you heard correctly. Play board games. Play video games. Learn which mechanics are used in them. Learn how they solve certain problems. Learn what you like about those games and what you don't like. As much as a writer needs to read a lot to become a better writer, a game designer needs to play a lot, or at least study games, to become a better game designer. As your journey goes on, also be prepared to meet enemies and mini-bosses along the way. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean the things that happen to every artist. Distractions, self-doubt, limits in your skills, and even looking at other high-end games which make you feel small. These can really be big obstacles. So please, before you start to battle them, collect some allies and power-ups to be prepared. Figure out for yourself in which environment you work best. Make yourself a playlist. Make yourself a cup of tea. Meditate. Whatever helps you concentrate. Set yourself some incentives for reaching your goals. Like, if I get that mechanic implemented this week, I'll go watch the new movie that just came out. Something like that. Tell people around you what you're trying to accomplish to get some encouragement when you need it. Gather some friends to help you with your games or to teach you some skills they already have. And find some motivational videos or tutorials that give you the motivation you need to not give up. Once you've overcome those mini-bosses, finished some smaller quests and leveled up to feel more comfortable in your skills, you can finally start to tackle the boss. Your dream game. Start by creating a detailed game design document. Break it down into smaller milestones. Break those milestones down in even smaller milestones, and continue to break them down until you are left with milestones you can accomplish in a week, or maybe even a day. From there, try to get something done every week, how small it might be. And stop thinking about the perfect end product. Just tackle the small milestone right in front of you. And with time, you will see your game grow and grow. And once you're satisfied with where you are, maybe you'll want to contact a publisher, or even self-publish the game on Steam. But don't forget, this journey is a marathon, not a sprint. I would be happy to be one of your first allies on your journey. On this channel, I will teach you the fundamentals you need to create your own games. We will start by learning basic programming skills in Python. And no worries, we will start at zero, with the very basics. making the most simplistic kind of games to get a basic understanding of how games are structured, and then will gradually get more complex, until you have a basic understanding of all the skills needed to make a game like Hollow Knight, Stardew Valley, or even the game that started it all for me, Pokemon. So if you're interested in going on this journey with me, please ring the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Oh, and by the way, congratulations! You've just made your first step on your journey to become a game designer and developer.